So, um, last time we got together, you guys came back in the basically in the middle of the Necromancer's cave, correct?
Yes.
Um, you had just gotten past your dance off with several odd zombies.
Mhm.
So you ended up. So when we started there, you had discovered a large room where um, this person was essentially what looked like performing experiments in this cave. There were several stone slabs that were essentially being used as makeshift tables. There were baskets of body parts sitting next to those tables, and a few of them reanimated and attacked you. Farther in, you found one particular table that was like pristine, almost like the actual operating room that we would have in real life, with a bunch of very clean tools. Um, that clearly would have been used for the experiments in the earlier area. Um, Going farther in, you came upon a cowering and deathly frightened Orioth, the Necromancer, who seemed to be talking to someone that you guys couldn't see, and at that point, the image of what he called an eye revealed itself to you. Um, and seemed to be sort of connected to this voice that none of you would have recognized. That seemed to be kind of commanding him uh, and someone else to quote finish it. Um, the necromancer himself ended up becoming possessed and attacked you guys viciously um, to the death, along with a couple of remaining zombies. But you guys handled yourselves with ease. In the end of that, his body dissolved into ash with the exception of his backbone and skull, which flew to the edge of the cave into a mysterious light and just disappeared. After that, Gert pointed out that there were many similarities between those events with that particular encounter and the events um, that Gert is and Cal experienced in underneath a church in Ravenwood. Later, returning to Red Larch, the party happens upon a sort of ad hoc festival occurring in the middle of town, which was the celebration of a wedding. That was our for us. That was a IRL celebration of our friends Gert and Cal getting married. So that was fun. After participating in a few games and the frivolity and celebrating, you were met with a concerning note from Constable Harburk. I'm not even going to try the last name anymore. It's just Constable Harburk or the Constable. um, about deception and potential dangers throughout the town of Red Larch. Um, so, going to meet him the next day, you catch up with the constable and ended up witnessing a conversation between him and a human cleric named Imdar, Imdarr. Um, he is a cleric staying at the All Faith Shrine, and he approached the constable with concern that his pilgrimage partner had not yet arrived, and he was concerned about this due to the normal timeliness of this rotation of clerics in the temple. The missing cleric's name is Limura Aldark. That last name is Auldhark. And you ended up finding out that this is actually Taryn's mentor and basically mother figure from earlier on in life. Conversing more with the constable, you end up finding out about some mysterious activities involving the town wagon worker and potentially others. Um, you have heard about masked people going into his shop at night about once a week, as well as gossip around town about spirits shortly after each of those occurrences. So, that's kind of a lot to chew on. Is there anything that any of you wanted to add to that? Why is this not playing?
Not that I can think of.
Good here.
Yeah, I think you got it.
Okay. Ash, I don't know how much you missed. Is there anything else you wanted to add to what we covered from the cave and constable interactions?
I'm sure you covered the majority, if not all of it. So.
Okay. And just to make sure, you are Harper's, correct? You and Whirl?
Yes.
Got it.
Woohoo.
Okay. All right. So you are now, I believe, still inside. Yeah, you're right here inside, with the constable just after the cleric Indar left. What would you like to do?
What time is it again?
This is like mid-morning.
Morning.
Or
Okay.
early in the day.
Okay. We had talked about doing some investigation of the Wagonmaker's place during the day, just to sort of see what was there. Right? Am I making that up?
No, you're right.
No, we did. The action or whatever happens was more towards dusk, I believe. But we did talk about going during the day to kind of case the joint, as it were.
Yes, that's the phrase that I was looking for.
Case of this.
Uh-oh, we lost Taryn.
Oh no.
No.
He just said his internet dropped. Oh no.
Oh no. That's
Come
okay.
back to us.
That gives me time to pull up some stuff because I didn't know you guys were gonna go there.
Quick prep.
Yeah. I gotta say I'm legitimately kind of overwhelmed with how much stuff there is in this one place to keep track of. It's kind of nutty.
I'm sure.
I want to go into this house right here.
And it'll be a place that he didn't prep for.
reason.
Yep. Yep.
Gotta make up an
Actually,
NPC.
thank God it's that house. That's the one house I did plan for.
Yeah, the 1 in, 50 or so chance?
Yeah.
Right?
That one, that's Muriel's Bakery, and you go there.
Let me tell you a little bit about Muriel.
Yeah. She's got a whole lore behind it. Look. My legs hurt.
It's still showing us online for Discord.
Your legs hurt because we've done a lot of moving of things in the last few days.
Walking and stuff, like my ankle hurts.
No.
Stop doing that.
Yeah. Stop touching it.
Stop moving it around in a way that it's gonna hurt more.
Yeah.
Just constantly keep poking it where it hurts. I don't understand.
Stop doing it.
No, that's not what I want. This is what I want. There we go.
Now that I'm looking at it, that house is really suspicious. I think we're gonna pass by there on our way to the cart maker, because it's weird. You look at all the rest of the homes; they look like duplexes at least, but that one's just one little.
Duplexes at least.
Look at that! But that's one tiny little house. What's
Which
up
one
with
is the tiny one? Is it the like? I mean,
I
that's
mean,
kind of good.
maybe
That's not as tiny as like. I mean, I guess a lot of them are kind of shitty.
This
There's
one's
some,
got
like,
a pool.
I
in
was
the
gonna say,
backyard?
yeah. Like, are you sure that's
This
a
one's
pool
really
though, or is that
little.
like a carriage house?
Yeah. Or is it like his friend Chet just lives back there, and then Chet's doing some like weird
Yeah.
stuff? His name is Chet, so like.
Yes.
So
Of course, I'm
I do.
Jeez, I hope you're taking notes.
It's
We're giving you a lot of good stuff here.
Chet, Muriel.
Muriel the baker.
You're the baker.
Sadly, I don't
Yeah.
think the actual baker is going to be that pleasant, if I recall
Shit.
correctly.
Chet the college dropout, but he's
You know
trying
he's
his
got like
best.
pet raccoons too. I like truly actually have met a human being that I now find out has a baby pet raccoon.
Aw.
Wow.
Oh, cool.
And I'm both like, he's a wrestler. I know a lot of wrestlers, like independent professional wrestlers. Spoiler alert. He lives in, I believe, Kentucky. He does more backflips than I've ever seen a human being do, and he like has a pet raccoon.
Quite the resume.
And he's
Yeah.
like, almost sponsored by Taco Bell. It's wild.
Nice.
The fact that he exists is just wild.
Oh man, Taco Bell sponsorship
Yeah.
would be pretty wild.
What a dream.
What a dream indeed.
Now I'm trying to think of all sorts of different wrestling moves that one could do whilst also being sponsored by Taco Bell.
He has one called the sauce, and I
The
think it's just
sauce.
something flippy. God, now I need to look him up and see what his fucking moves are called. His dang moves are called. I don't know who's listening to this.
So I remember there was like one professional wrestler, like major
Yeah.
league, whatever they call it. Everything's professional, but like he was in like WWE or something like that. Was
Sure.
it like Rafiki or something like that, where he like would basically just sit on them? Right? He had like
What
this
a power
sumo
play.
thing going on, and then he would just like the whole idea is that his butt would just be in your face. And I feel
I mean,
like
probably.
That sounds like something my friend's dog does whenever she's losing a fight against their other dog.
He's just like,
yeah,
no,
but
I'm just gonna sit on you.
that's exactly what it is. And like he would that's his move. Like he would corner them in like one of the corners
Right.
and like have his butt on their face, and they'd
I
be
mean,
like, "Oh, stinky" or whatever. And so
There's a lot of things.
what I'm thinking is that he could kind of steal that move or something similar with that for his Taco Bell sponsorship and
He's
tell them to like think outside these buns and then like smash his butt in their face.
God bless America.
He's got a lot of like double decker kind of things because he does like he got real big a couple years ago. His name is Alex Zane, but
What a
he got
name.
big like a
Why
year
does
and a
that
half
sound
ago.
familiar to me? Why? What?
So he did this like I think it was a 540. He like jumped out of the ring, flipped like 2.5 times, and landed on top of a dude on a table at a backyard show in like Tennessee. It was for CGW or GCW.
Okay.
Like a year and a half ago, and he suddenly was like everywhere in the independent scene.
Nice.
Okay.
Love
He's
it.
got purple hair.
Nice. Nice.
I
Very
knew a
nice.
guy who commentated in local stuff, and so maybe he just kind of like threw out some names, and I'm like
That's fair.
recalling it.
I don't remember any of his like stuff. He used to wrestle for the promotion that I went to a lot in Seattle called 321 Battle. He would be here every once in a while. 321 was fun. It's funny. 321 like we used to do that wrestling show used to be every 2 weeks on Fridays, and so like literally I have replaced wrestling with D&D. It's like
Yay!
this time slot, and I'm like, this is great. I don't have to go anywhere. I don't
Love
have
it.
to like
You're good.
be in a room that's like too hot and like also have to buy shitty beer. I can buy nice beer. Wild.
What was it? What was the dude's name?
Alex Zane, Zayne.
Alex Zane.
Yeah.
Okay. British television presenter. No.
No, it's not it.
Wouldn't that be a trip?
Right?
Presenter by day, master flipper by
And-
night,
And,
and also
DJ.
day.
He's in a bunch of different stuff. including Deuce Bigelow, European Gigolo.
He has one called the Taco Driver, which is a Cobra Clutch driver. But you basically it means you drop a dude a certain way, but it's a pump handle, so it means you like hold his arm upside down as you flip him.
Whoa.
And then he has something else called the Crunch Wrap, which is also pretty great. Oh, and something called the Baja Blast.
Oh,
Oh
Of
my
course,
God.
thank you.
The Baja Blast. There you
Yeah.
go. Oh, his nicknames is the sauce. So,
The sauce,
okay,
yeah.
signature move, cinnamon twist, taco driver. I want to know what the Baja Blast is about.
That sounds dangerous.
So my next question then is, why didn't you create a physically strong, like a barbarian that isn't proficient with weapons but is proficient with like unarmed combat in a wrestling sense?
I mean, I feel like I wanted my first one to be something that like as a character I could easily just do, and I feel like Bard was the easiest on that. And then once I realized how much more I could do about it, like clearly there is going to be a wrestler character coming up like later in my further trajectory of D&D.
Oh yeah, as your backup.
And he's just gonna I call it it's called a German suplex, and it's my favorite move because if both of the like wrestlers do it right, it just looks like you're like lumping a sack of meat over your shoulder, so I call it meat sacking. Like that would be like his signature move.
I
Just,
wouldn't
like,
Google
meat
that
sacking.
though.
No.
Yes.
Not on these internets.
German suplexes are the best. You just like basically hurl them over your shoulder and just like
Incredible.
flop them down. It's
I meant the other term. I wouldn't Google the other term.
Meat sacking. Oh god.
Oh no, Taryn, what's up?
what happened?
We said his internet dropped. Saw that he was still on Discord like 2 minutes after that. But maybe that was just Discord being delayed in registering that he was not online. So I don't know. I don't think I have any other way to get in contact with him directly other than Discord.
Right.
Should we change that immediately?
What's that?
Establish alternate forms of communication.
Yeah,
in
we
the event
should.
that we need to.
We probably should do that. Well, I can get a hold of Gert and Cal through Facebook. Aha, there he is.
Hooray!
Yeah, well, let's could I have all of you make a personal note that we need to establish like communication tree probably at the end.
Yeah.
I don't want to accidentally display or talk about personal information.
Here's my
while we're
last
live.
name.
My
here's my
phone
social
number and social
security
security number.
This is my mother's maiden
man.
name.
There he is. Can you hear us,
high
dude?
school.
Oh, he's still connecting audio.
Alright.
Yeah.
All right.
Yo, my bad, my internet was just like... Alright, I'm
Do you?
It happens.
It's all good. I was gonna... the thought crossed my mind for a second to start considering at what point do we just do tomorrow instead, and I was gonna cry a little bit.
No, I just had to restart the computer. I'm all good.
Got it. Okay. So you guys were okay. We're back. This is gonna be the point for YouTube that we bring it back and not do that 8 minutes or so.
I'll put some markers here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Mark.
Okay. So take two. You guys are thinking about doing some recon during the day. It sounds like.
Case the joint. There, you can
See.
actually.
Yeah.
That's actually where you can cut back. Case the joint.
Can we get a clean read on that one?
Trying to think.
Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. Okay.
Case the joint. Yes.
But yes, we were gonna. Yeah, we can go there now, or we can do other things since it's quite early.
I mean, what time? I mean, I figure we could case the joint, ask about a wagon, because we were actually wondering about wagons anyway.
Mhm.
Right.
That can be a good, like, guys to go in there. And then maybe once we've cased the joint, do we want to go to the shrine? Or do we want to just, like, then hang out and just continue to case the place?
I mean, the suspicious stuff doesn't happen until sundown,
True.
so we would have time.
Cool.
Mhm.
So I think we should go to the wagon, please.
Sounds good to me.
Okay.
Show us the wagon facts.
It's funny because I just bought a new car.
Awesome.
Well, new to me.
So you don't currently know where that is. Do we want to retcon your conversation a little bit to say that because Constable was pretty thorough about telling you what he was concerned about. We'll just say he told you where it is. So it's just across the street. This is number 16 coming in hot.
Bam.
Didn't we? Because I thought maybe that was a different place than we saw the horses and stuff. Was that a different place?
Correct. The place
Okay.
that you saw horses.
That was like down here, right?
It was down here.
Okay.
Cool.
That was different.
And that was more of like a stable type setup, like an outdoor stable type setup that you hadn't gotten any information about. You just noticed because Cal, you were looking for horses. You did see them on your way down that way to go to the cave. So yeah, if you guys are going over here, then.
Okay.
So before going in, you would see that there's clearly like an indoor operation with some outdoor storage here. There's a sign on the front that says Wildver's Wagon Works. These names are ridiculous. Waelvur. That name, comma or apostrophe S Wagon Works. And sort of around the outside, you would see a fenced-off area that has mostly, if not almost entirely, whole wagons sort of stacked around the perimeter.
Why don't maybe we have a couple? We all go in and then maybe after like look around the rest of the wagons as though we're browsing for wagons. That thumbs up. That's a good idea.
Dude, honestly,
Yeah.
we just came in with the
Nice.
intention to case, so that's as good as planned as any.
Sweet.
I got.
Yep.
Cool.
Let's do it.
So only a few of you are going in. Who's
I think we're all going.
I think
in.
we're all.
you're all
yeah.
We're all going in.
Yes.
Yeah.
okay? So the door's open. It's open for business, so no issues or anything going in. Inside, you're going to find about half a dozen wagons standing in various stages of assembly, basically around the shop. They're all going to be surrounded by stools, ladders, benches. Wooden pillars are supporting a loft that is an open latticework of boards, serving as basically a home for some birds and storage for scores of wagon wheels. That's like out the door in the back, the area that you saw outside. There are oh, okay, sorry. There was a conversation happening just outside my door. Every bench has a laborer who is clearly working diligently, but also, oddly enough, accompanied with a tankard, which you would all know is not traditionally used for water. But they are all working diligently and really only speaking to each other or anybody else as necessary when it seems to be sort of related to their particular task at hand. It's kind of messy in here, but again, it seems that the work ethic of all the people you can see is pretty hardcore.
Must
Is
be
there?
an early beer 30 on a Friday or something for these guys.
One of those new age work environments where they have
Open concept, you know.
games and
Interesting. Anyway, Taryn, go ahead.
Is there a place that looks like that it might be an office for a higher up, or does it all just look like an assembly line?
Sure.
Like a head dude to talk to.
So there's not really a clear. The only thing that seems sort of different from this general assembly area, basically, is like one countertop toward the back, like near the door that goes out to that outside back area. Nobody's there, but there's no like cutoff area for like an office or anything like that. It seems like it's basically one big room.
I'm gonna walk up to just the first laborer that I see, and I'm gonna ask him, "Hello, Mr. Wagon Building Gentleman.
Sounds
Is Mr. What's the name? Whalver? Whalver?
Oh,
Around?
that'll be me. And one of the folks that was kind of working in a nondescript spot. It just seems like he was in a random spot on this sort of assembly group. Comes off of his stool and sort of wipes off his hands and extends a hand and says, Ilmith Whalver.
Illness. Nice to meet you. I'm Gert. And we're looking for a wagon.
Well, you're in the right place. And he's got this look on his face like, haha, but sort of gestures around him. All of our finished product is out back. I'm sure you'd want to take a look out there.
I got nothing, guys.
You know, I'm quite the wagon aficionado. I have.
enthusiast.
Yes, thank you. Most of my family lives in traveling wagons, the longer ones with the cool drapey canopy things. So I have a bit of experience when it comes to wagons. Now, do you happen to have any that can be pulled by 4 horses, or are these all just the 2?
I gotta look for that. Let's find out.
Just bullshitting here, guys.
I think you're spot on. I would also ask how many animals would be required to pull a wagon, so or cart.
I mean, I was wondering who was going to be asking how much horsepower does something get.
Jesus
I
Christ.
just
with
didn't.
the-
I didn't
the
expect
puns.
it.
It was pretty
Right,
literal.
Okay.
I couldn't quite
I got
meet
you.
it there with the pun.
Okay, so he would respond with, well, if you're looking for more along the lines of chariots, and he's gonna like look at you side-eyed, is specifically he's thinking about your last comment. The 4-horse thing. Yeah, we have a few of those, again, out back, but the more standard size wagons would be more like 2 horses or a couple of large boars.
Wonderful. Good to know. Would you say that the majority of your patrons here at your lovely wagon shop are they more travelers, people passing through town, maybe had a broken wheel or something, or are you looking more towards luxury kind of things? Like what's your main kind of go-to customer here?
Well, that's why we're so good. We kind of do it all, and we do it all really well. And he'll sort of gesture to his other 5 now diligently working folks. And you guys get a little bit more of a look at what they're doing, and it seems like even though they are clearly drinking, like their level of focus is real. None of them are even like side glancing at you. They haven't missed a beat since you walked in. And he'll... I gotta retcon what I said. I didn't mean chariot. I meant carriage. And then he'll come back to it and say, yeah, we do pretty much everything from repair to full assembly to including custom. This town's been great for business. Location.
Right. That's great.
I would like to wander over, just like generally close to one of the workers, and do either maybe a medicine check or an arcana check on what they're drinking.
Okay.
I want to see if they're being poisoned.
Make
Poison check.
an
so.
investigation check. This would just,
All right.
I think, just general investigation.
Oop.
Nice.
I gotta flip back to that. 6. It's
It's a
clearly not water.
Cool.
You're getting a little bit of a smell off of it that's familiar from the celebration the other night.
All right.
Probably assuming it's ale, but you're not entirely sure, but is safe assumption.
I am gonna, if you guys can sort of continue talking,
Sure.
right?
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna meander over by that front desk, and I'm gonna do you know what? Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna cast Detect Magic. Woo! I'm gonna see what's going on up in here. And it might be
Beautiful.
nothing. And I'm gonna be real sad if it is.
Okay. Go ahead and cast Detect Magic. I'm gonna say as you're doing that, he's Ilmeth is gonna look at you and go, whoa, careful. We don't want another fire incident in here. What are you doing?
Oh, what type of fire incident? Tell me. I am very interested in fire.
Well, we've had some pretty enthusiastic magical folk come through here over the years, and you know, one thing leading to another. Sometimes somebody accidentally snaps their fingers the wrong way, and all of a sudden I'm out half my inventory.
That's not great. Not,
You
not a
get
good one.
you get nothing other than the staff that now, what is it? Whirl has the staff, and Califras's pocket watch.
Okay. Good to know.
So the 5 of us are taking a general trip to Water Deep. I think that's what it's called. We're just, looking to get there a little bit quicker than our physical feet can carry us. What would you suggest as a size of wagon and or cart and or number of animals to haul that cart?
Well, is it just the 5 of you?
Yes, and our belongings.
Well,
And
depend.
maybe
a bear.
Maybe a tiny bear sidekick. We don't know yet.
Yeah, at that one, he's just gonna like he was all business and with you until the bear thing, and then he. What?
Can I rib him and smile so he knows it's a joke?
Make a deception check.
Ooh. Oh, beans.
It started with a 3. That's not fair.
Okay, you've got this like half grimace, half smile thing on your face, and you are convinced that you're jiving right now. And he's just kind of like, very yeah. So about being out back, we have carriages that I think would be just fine, maybe a little big. Chariots go about the same size, but they, if you're not looking to drop too much, then that wouldn't be the route. We do have just standard wagons too. Any of those can get by with. One good horse might be able to do it for 5 of you, but to be safe, I'd go 2.
Seems fair.
And
Yes.
he's gonna actually start walking out back with this comment now.
I'm gonna follow him out to look at stuff outside because I don't want to stay inside. I'm too crazy, no point.
I'm going
I
to
say
stay
quietly out the side of my
inside.
mouth. Cool.
I am going to follow you out.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm following out too. So I see kind of a lot of space in there. You guys are obviously, building wagons take up a lot of square footage in there. Kind of seems like a good place if you get stuff out of the way to hold a meeting here in town. Since I know there's the tavern, and I'm still trying to, get my footing here and figure out a good place where you can like host a party or just a meeting with people. Uh, does like, do you guys rent the place out for anything like that, or do you host meetings here often?
No, we pretty much use the inn for that.
Okay.
Kind of just gesture,
Mhm.
the general direction that that the Swinging Sword Inn is.
Hmm.
I would like to know if there's anything suspicious looking outside. Maybe like a leftover mask or like a spooky cloak.
Okay, make. Are you specifically looking, or are you just kind of generally scanning?
No, I'm specifically looking. I'm like
Okay.
actively searching.
Let's go investigation check.
How low is this one gonna be?
Nice.
Alright.
Hooray!
Okay. You do not see anything along the lines of like a cloak or staffs or anything like that. It's pretty much just the fence and the wagons, and everything for the most part seems to be pretty neatly organized out here.
I think it should.
Should have done this a little bit earlier, but can I make an insight check on him being truthful about whether or not they would have meetings there?
Sure. Make that insight check.
16.
You don't feel quite right about his response. It's really hard to tell if he's being truthful or not, but you guys are like really looking into him, and he doesn't really seem to have missed a beat at all, but you're kind of I don't know about that.
Okay.
Does anyone? I guess I wouldn't be able to tell these people inside this, but maybe someone inside should talk to them about it.
Yeah, I was gonna do a kind of a sneaky. I want to get behind. About how far apart are these people on the assembly line far from each other? Like, what's their proximity towards one another?
That's a good question. Okay. It's not exactly crowded. There's like a healthy amount of space. It's almost like a mini woodworking shop at each table that each of these guys are working at, and there are 6 of them, and only one of them's empty that Ilmith was at. It is, however, a little cluttered because of like ladders and stools and tools being kind of scattered. Again, not very crowded. So with 6 spaces, I'm gonna say it's about walking in the door. It would be about 5 feet on either side with 5 feet through the middle, so a total of 15 feet wide, and then about 30 or so feet to the back with a good amount of space left for that counter in the back and the door that you guys are now out.
Okay. So I'm going to kind of walk in the middle of the first 4 spaces, and I'm going to channel divinity turn undead.
Whoa. Okay.
Just to see if they if these guys are actually alive.
Okay. I need to look up that actually is.
I'm pretty sure they just need to make a saving throw, a wisdom saving throw. Unless I'm being not smart. Yeah, DC 12 wisdom save.
But they only have to attempt the save if they are undead, correct?
If they are undead.
Okay, so you cast that, and nothing happens.
Okay.
With the exception of Make a perception check.
Oh, okay.
Bum, bum, bum.
Dun, dun.
I'm gonna take this opportunity just really quick to remind everyone that we also have some inspiration left over from the wedding.
Yeah.
Yes.
Don't forget about that.
You have
Yeah, I
two.
would like to indeed use my inspiration.
Okay.
We've got two. I'm just reading my notes. Two basically inspiration points from
Yes.
all of that.
Oh,
So you can choose to take
forgot.
advantage on anything twice for this next
Man.
in-game day.
okay.
I'm doing that now. Yes, that's a lot better
Okay.
than a 4.
Okay, so you have to essentially, I think you have to use a holy symbol to channel divinity, right?
Yes.
So whatever your symbol is, I guess we didn't really talk about what that is, but that's not necessarily important. You would hold on to it and sort of mutter a little incantation, and your symbol's going to glow a little bit. Nothing seems to really happen, but you do notice that the to your right, the smallest of the workers is kind of like shifting side-eyed at you. It's kind of looking at like, what is he doing? And then just going quickly back to his work.
I'm gonna, not intimidatingly, but just kind of quickly strut over to him, and just kind of like plop my elbow down on his workstation and say, "Is something bothering you?"
As soon as you start to like lean in, he would, whoa, careful there, sharp stuff, and continue working. I don't know what you mean.
I mean, it seemed like you took an interest in my, I believe it's a pendant. I'm gonna say it's a pendant.
Okay.
Right.
Oh,
kind of twirl it around, like kind of flip it through my fingers.
yeah, he's gonna be like half looking to the side at you and half still clearly working on this wagon that he's, we'll say he's putting cogs in or something. I don't know.
He's doing wagon stuff.
Clearly still working.
He's wagoning.
And looking at half at you and saying, well, yeah, you heard Ilmith, fire problems.
That would, I guess that would make sense. If you're not specifically jumpy about fire or anything, are you?
Jumpy about what? I missed that.
Fire? I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. Well, he would say, well, we're all careful about it. I mean, it's all wood and wood shavings in here. That wouldn't go down well.
It very much wouldn't. I understand that. Would you have any worry for anything causing a fire? I mean, or 5 strangers walking in, so I see why you'd be a little extra cautious, but anything weird happened recently that might spook suspicion? Or stir suspicion?
Okay, so, don't read into why I'm asking you for this, because you probably will get the wrong answer, but I'm going to need you to
Yes.
make a persuasion check.
Yes. Minute since I used D&D Beyond. Boop.
18.
18.
Nice. Okay. So he's clearly hesitant to continue talking to you. So he's gonna continue, but in like very short, like non-distracting from his work type responses, and he'll say, "Well, not recently, but the last one was pretty bad."
Okay, thank you for your time. And I'm gonna just, like, slap the table and leave a gold piece behind. And I'm gonna walk back outside. I'm gonna walk outside with the rest of the group.
Okay. On your way out, you would see him. He would be still going as you walk away, but as you glance one more time on your way out, you would see him like catch your gaze one more time, and then just go right back to it.
Who's the first person, person of the party that I get close to when I come outside?
Cal, were you the last one out?
Cal's
left
still
yet?
inside.
Yeah,
Oh.
I was gonna say.
I'm still hanging inside, just kind of letting everybody do their thing. I'm taking a look around. I think I would have probably maybe not have heard, but I probably would have saw some of that interaction.
Yeah, so if you were inside, you would have basically seen all of that. And at the same time, unless you want to check for anything specific, just using essentially your passive and the fact that you were there, nobody missed a beat. Everybody kept working. Nobody so much as like even looked over.
Okay. I mean, I'm still gonna, I guess, stay inside to keep an eye on things while everyone else is like negotiating and everything. See if there's anything strange happening while the boss is gone.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask Welver. You mentioned fires. Do you guys like have like a plan? Like, do you have like were there buckets around full of water, or is there a well close by to like in the future protect yourselves against future fires?
The plan is ask people to not play with fire.
That seems like a genius plan, considering you're surrounded by dry wood things.
Ouch!
No, I'm gonna continue.
That's me saying that, not him.
That's fair.
He would just kind of give a smirk and a cackle, like, yeah.
And I'm just gonna like wisp away and start looking at carts and stuff.
Okay.
Gert's gonna kick one of the tires and look very seriously at things, like she knows what she's talking about. And then she's gonna look
By tire,
over
you
at
mean
him.
wheel?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, those giant rubber wheels in it. Yeah.
she's gonna kick the wheel, and then she's gonna look at him and say, "So, how late are you guys open every night?"
Typically till sunset.
Sunset. That's an interesting time.
It is pretty standard.
Changes every day.
It does change every day. What happens in the winter? You're closed so early. That's sad.
Man, that must suck during the summer, huh? You're here all day.
Day.
All day.
It's hot and
Um,
muggy.
I don't know if you guys are making assumptions about in-game climate patterns based on real life, but I actually don't know what it's like in-game, so I got nothing for you. I guess that's tack that one on the list of shit I gotta look up that's like random.
Yeah.
Didn't think of that before.
You didn't think of looking up the almanac for
Oh
Red
yes,
Larch?
I'm preparing a D&D campaign. I must understand asteroid patterns and climate change.
What's the farmer's almanac? When's low tide? When's... We're gonna be asking you these things.
We're not even on the
We
Sword
gotta
Coast.
know.
Is this the cicada season? Are there a lot of cicadas chirping?
Oh yes, once every
We gotta-
17.3 years.
When's the next full moon? Or less full moon? It happens around.
Oh my
Stuff
god.
happens around.
When is the next moon in general?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are there even moons here? Like, I have no idea.
There are. Okay, so we can say that. Like, a typical day-night cycle is part of this world.
Okay. There is a large physical mass that rotates around the place where this is also a large physical mass.
Is this one also made of cheese?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Or cake. Is it all cake?
Everything's cake.
Everything's cake.
But if everything's
Everything
cake
is
and cake
cake.
is a lie, then like what even is real?
Nothing.
Apparently nothing.
Nothing.
Okay, so Gert, you're doing the whole, like, slap the whole, this bad boy right here.
Yeah.
Anything specific you're going for, or just kind of doing the...
I am honestly acting as distraction for anybody who wants to like take deeper looks into anything else.
Okay.
That's what Gert is doing.
Um,
and trying
make-
to
Okay,
Yeah.
so in the interest of avoiding metagaming that, because now obviously all of us players know that, I'm going to need you to make a performance check
Yes. Okay.
just to see, basically, if
Oh,
anybody notices.
Hmm.
Nice.
All right.
Ooh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
So the Whirl and Iz, you're the only two outside at the moment, right? Or Cal, you might
And
be able
Karen
to.
just got outside.
Aaron just got outside. Yeah.
Oh, you did. Okay, so Cal, you might. You're kind of catching this, but everybody else, you're getting like sort of catching the signal, if you will, that Gert's trying to basically do the talking, so that you
Sure.
all can check stuff out. What did you say to him, Gert? I forgot already.
I had asked him what time it closes.
Oh yeah.
And then yeah, that turned into a whole thing. So so you got any kids?
Beautiful.
No. About those wagons. You see anything you guys like? And he's gonna like look around to the rest of you that are, I'm assuming, just sort of scattered now.
Yeah.
Oh, we're kind of just doing a bit of
Browsing.
big purchase recon, just trying to figure out what's gonna work for us.
Window
Hopefully we
shopping?
can, window shopping. Yes, exactly. We're definitely hoping to find something that can accommodate our travels. Hoping to find carriage first, horses second. So you've been a real great help here, sir. I really appreciate you. Do you have anything that can accommodate 5 people, maybe a bear, and like just a bunch of pillows?
Like heavy pillows.
Okay.
The
Yeah.
comfy pillows in case someone wants to kick it in back.
Yep. Okay, so he'll kind of go back to that, like, what the fuck are you talking about? And like, this is his face right now. And he goes, well, the bear thing is kind of a large variable, so I guess without, you'd want to look at these, and he'll gesture, to basically one fence that has pretty standard looking wagons, with the poles. I don't know what to call them, but the poles for pulling in the front and just 2 wheels in the back, and like basically a
Right.
stop that they're
Right.
like a kickstand that they're standing up on. Then he'll point to the other side and say, the carriages, I guess, would be more fitting for, we'll just say, larger cargo, and those are about 50% larger.
And what are the
And-
prices on those, roughly?
Oh, these wagons would be 35 gold. The larger carriages run 100.
Okay.
Right,
So
reasonable.
Ilmeth, is there do you have like a separate space where you can decorate these wagons for us? Like get a nice little painted logo for us?
Yeah.
Maybe
So
like do you have an upstairs or a downstairs to like that you guys have like a workshop for that?
Yeah, like maybe a seamstress for a canopy or something.
no, we pretty much handle that out here when we do customization. And he'll kind of point back toward the door. I have my supplies, and a couple of us do some specialized items, whether it's the saddles for the horses or the wagons themselves.
So do you like store things in the basement then? Is that where you keep most of your storage?
No, we don't have a basement. Everything is pretty much out here, hence the wide open space. And he'll sort of gesture over to another corner. There are several, like I said, the perimeter is basically lined with all the wagons, but then he would gesture over to a corner that has several crates and other carts full of cart materials.
Sure.
Do you live near here?
Yeah. Are you guys
Oh,
okay?
I'm just trying to get a lay of the land. trying to meet my neighbors.
Are any of you guys doing anything while Gert is doing her thing here?
I don't know what else to look at, I guess.
I wanna examine, like, are the boxes, are those like sealed crates, or are those or are they open with like materials spilling out of them?
Yeah, so we wouldn't even need a check for this. You can clearly see that, like, this is the most organized area that you've seen so far. Everything else is kind of like a hot mess with the active work going on. But out here, all of the wagons are lined up really nicely for obviously both display and like efficient use of space. And then this area has basically like sealed crates at the bottom, and then stacked on top is some open ones. And then off to the side would be a table or two with smaller parts in sort of open, smaller crates, I guess, since cardboard's not a thing. I can't call them boxes, but,
Sure.
Parts and pieces in one small area, and then larger parts and pieces in another.
Okay.
I need to make a super quick run to the restroom, guys.
Sure.
I don't think this needs to be like a full intermission, if that's okay.
Yeah, of course.
That's fine.
But I will
No, hold
be. I will be right back.
Okay.
I'm gonna run off to grab a second beer.
Okay.
Oh,
I believe in you guys.
I'm done.
yes.
Keep thinking about ways to check out the rest of this place.
Me.
Figure out what looks suspicious. Something's up with that guy. Like, I feel it. Something's up with that guy.
Oh, the one that you talked to, yeah.
Yeah, the short one.
Yeah. I am trying, and I think definitely failing, to, well, I mean, I've got an 18 performance check, so,
You don't have a basement? What about
right?
a
What
basement
about,
where you hide bodies?
yeah, that's kind of what I'm going for. Did we see a staircase at all? Like, any indication that there were other levels?
I mean, he just said that we saw just the cluttered workspace and the desk. He didn't
That's
necessarily.
okay.
We didn't check behind the desk though.
Mm.
Hidden staircase underneath the desk.
Staircase. I'm telling you, there's gonna be,
There's a basement.
there's gonna be. Hold on, I have to wait until Juice puts his headphones back on so that he can hear me say there's gonna be a trap door that leads to a basement, and it's all gonna. Yep, I figured it out.
We solved the mystery, gang.
I
Solve
caught
the
trapdoor basement.
Yeah.
Okay, so wow, my short-term memory. Good thing I write stuff down. What was the last thing somebody said?
I just asked about the crate organization,
Oh, that's right.
and then you told me all about that.
Yeah. Okay, so at this point he would be like clearly a little thrown off, and sort of hesitantly say, "Is there anything else I can help you guys with? I got a lot of work to tend to back inside."
Oh, right, of course. Yes. I think we've done a good amount of window shopping here today. Saw your stock, we saw how things were made, got to know you a little bit. So I think, looks at everyone else, I think we're okay.
I have one question for you. If we were to buy a cart, would we be able to just take it out of this yard, or would we have to wait for another one to be assembled?
Oh, if you bought one that's already made, you could take it right then and there, unless you needed anything done with it before going. But otherwise, yeah, you could just take whatever you purchased right away.
Okay, thank you.
Well, I'm gonna go back in and grab Cal. let him know that we're leaving.
Do we
So
can
then
we
we-
exit outside, or do we have to just go through? We could all just go back through.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so there is only that one way in and out other than a
Okay.
gate on the fence outside that would have been clearly for, like, when wagons need to go in or out. So yeah, you would probably have to go back through that door unless you want to do something weird.
I'm just gonna monkey up the fence.
Weird, this
No, I don't
room?
have any.
So yeah, so we go back in. Cal, honey, it's time to go.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna lean over to Iz and go. He's gonna hate that.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
And then she's gonna give him this face.
Oh my god.
I'm gonna share a look with Ilmith. Just kind of like, just say,
It's the you gross, leave me alone face.
maybe
Oh,
maybe
man.
maybe some sympathy points with me with the shopkeep by that.
This has got to be the
That's my
best
goal.
recon mission I've ever seen.
Found out nothing.
Yes. They'll
Purely
never
nothing.
suspect us. It's the perfect plan.
Never suspect us. We're just weirdos. Cool. So where are we going next, guys?
Orphanage or temple?
Not the orphanage, cause well, it's not,
Oh,
an,
it's not an
orphanage.
orphanage.
It's
The boarding
boarding
house.
it's a boarding
It's a
house.
boarding house.
I had to remind myself of that
Yeah.
earlier.
Right. I mean, I figure we go to the shrine and play some "Hey, look, we have two clerics" games.
Oh, right, yeah, that's what we were gonna do at the shrine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes.
About
Great.
what time of day is it now? Is it still kind
Uh,
of morning?
Now that
Still-
we spent
still
4
before
hours
midday.
Sticking around.
Oh great.
Yeah,
Okay.
like later morning. I'm gonna say that whole thing maybe took 10-15 minutes, kind of a fairly insignificant amount of time.
Great.
For us, for him, no. That was a great deal of
Yeah,
time.
He's going to be talking to his therapist about this day. Or
Just piecing it apart.
Yeah.
Do we know about how far away the shrine is?
Are you talking about the All Faith Shrine?
yes.
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 Nobody pointed that out to you, did they?
No, the constable pointed out like he pointed it out on a map. He was like, I think it's here. I think
Oh,
he
yes.
pointed it out. Am I wrong?
Yes, because he rolled out the map on the table of the secret
Right.
room and was like, these are important places.
Yeah. Okay, so that number one, just kitty corner from you guys, is the shrine.
Oh, that's
Okay.
way closer than I
I
was.
thought it was out of town or
Really?
something.
I did too.
No,
Right in the middle.
Nice.
Cool.
everything is
Then,
centralized.
Oh, it's like religion is important in D&D.
Whoa.
Weird.
Cool. Let's go to the shrine.
Let's go to the shrine.
Do we maybe want our clerics to go first since they're like clerics?
Mhm.
Good idea.
Sure.
We're gonna link arms and skip.
Skip? You want to skip?
Run their lives.
Cal, you want to skip?
Always.
No, just the clerics. I mean, like, not that no one else is allowed to skip, but like, we all know, or like, we have the background information that clerics tend to go there in groups of 2, and like, literally, like, if we just like take like 10 steps behind you guys and you go first, that seems like a pretty okay
Everyone
reason
looks
for us to like
suspicious.
take her out of the shrine.
This will kind of just start skipping by herself.
Yeah. I don't have to skip. I just kind of like, I mean, I do. I guess I could skip. I would skip. We're all skip. Let's be honest.
Is notices this and she's like, yes.
Yeah.
Skip.
There's just like leaves just like fluttering around.
Cute. You made
Okay.
a leaf skip.
Yes, so we're going to the shrine.
Yeah, we go.
Here
to
we
the
go.
shrine.
Skipping hand in hand to the shrine. Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh my goodness.
Let's see. Pull up this. Okay. Okay, so as you're approaching this, it From the outside, it kind of looks like a grand stone mansion. 2 wide wooden doors painted with the symbols of many gods stand open as you approach. And inside is a very plain chapel with a stone altar. That is for me. Yeah, that's it. Inside is just a simple stone altar and then 2 doors, one on either side. And just the way in and out that you're in right now.
Is there anybody there?
Not that you can see from the front door.
I'll walk in, see what's going on inside.
Okay. As you walk in, you would get a little bit better view of the doors, the 2 other doors, and you can see that they both go into a separate room, but not much else.
This is oddly empty compared to what I was expecting.
Great. It's a little cold.
You, Taryn, I will say this, Taryn and Gert, this is a bit smaller and a bit simpler than what you would be used to, but it's not like entirely foreign to you. You would have at least seen in your studies over the past decade?
I believe. Right?
Decade or so. That, smaller chapels and shrines would be... This is pretty typical.
I'm gonna go to the door on the right and knock on it.
Okay. The door would... Let me make a quick note. Okay. Just a couple seconds after you knock on it, it swings open and you see a familiar face. The cleric who introduced himself to the constable as Imdar opens up and says, "Oh, hello. Welcome."
Hello. We were just checking in to see how our fellow cleric was doing. How have you been faring with all of this? I know that your partner in crime hasn't showed up yet. Have they made it?
How do you know that?
Well, normally there's 2 people.
Busted.
Right? We were told recently that there were we were told recently that they come in pairs, and I see that you're the only one here.
Can you
Nice
stop
save.
by the constables yesterday? Can we meet you there?
No, I
I thought it was a
didn't
different
see
guy.
anyone. Oh, were you there? I'm sorry. I was just so focused when I was talking to the constable, I didn't even look for other people. I'm sorry. My name is Imdar, and I can't remember if I described for you last time, but this is a pretty standard-looking human man. He's kind of middle-aged, and he would extend his hand to you for a handshake, and upon doing that, get a sort of a better look at all of you, and notice Gert and Taryn. You are wearing, I don't want to call them robes, but garments that are pretty typical of clerics. So your comment about fellow cleric is like now sinking in, and he goes, "Oh yes, I'm Imdar, and you are. Did you say Gert?
I'm Gert. Yes.
And the rest of you, I would love to meet all of you."
Tyrion steps up and shakes his hand and introduces himself.
kind of go ahead.
I wander in and say, hi, I'm Whirl.
Kind of leaning on a pew. Ms.
Leaning on a pew. Okay. And so as you introduce yourself, he would be like looking at you almost wide-eyed. And like quickly shake it off for a second and go, oh, General, I'm sorry, Imdar. And he seems to kind of like stand up a little bit straighter and approach you with a handshake as well.
I'll take his hand and at ease. It's a long time behind me, but good to meet you, Imdar. I am, I'm Califres. You can just call me Cal.
Cal, a pleasure. And Taryn, he would kind of come back to you and sort of like inquisitively, he's somewhere in between like surprised and just genuinely fascinated with you guys. And so Taryn, he's looking at you like, oh, I've never heard of a tiefling cleric before. Fascinating. And then kind of go over to Iz again, and be even like almost hesitant to approach you, but take a few steps toward you and just sort of stare at your eyes and your face a little bit. It's clearly hard for him to like believe what he's seeing in front of him right now. This is something that you've experienced before. You're not really sure why. You just kind of assume it's because you look different. Taryn, you would be entirely used to this.
If you want, I can. Here, I'll be right back. I'll go step outside, kind of into an alley, touch my shoulder, and then make myself look like my old childhood friend, who's kind of darker skin, flowing darker hair, still obviously in the same clothes and everything, but look human. And just walk back in and say, hey, still me. Don't worry.
He would respond, oh, fascinating. And then Gert, he would look at you again and sort of, are you an Azamar?
Yep. Yes, I am.
Oh man, that's new ground for me. I'm so sorry. I'm gawking. How can I help you? This is the All Faith Shrine. All are welcome here.
As my friend Gert mentioned, we overheard that your partner Limura Aldark is missing, or at least hasn't shown up yet.
Oh, yes. Are you investigating that? I would be so thankful if you could help.
Not so much right now, but I personally have a connection and would be happy to help.
Oh, you do? Oh, that would be wonderful. Honestly, I don't know. This is only my second pilgrimage to Red Larch, but as I understood it, the rotation of clerics is always so systematic, and despite all the traveling, almost like clockwork. I'm concerned that anyone would be late, especially Limura. She, as I understand it, was traveling with a rather large group.
I see. Were you informed of what direction she was coming from?
He was. Where's that damn note?
Like she was coming from the south?
I also think so. I just don't want to like
from water.
Show that I know him. Show that I know a lot.
Yeah.
Got you.
Because I think it was on.
I legitimately don't remember which which major place is south and which one was north. Waterdeep is to the south, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, he would say that she was coming from Waterdeep.
Okay, I suppose we could look for her maybe tomorrow. The rest of us are already involved in, we have a busy day today, so we do want to help, but as of now, our priorities are elsewhere, but as soon as we are free, we will assist in any way we can.
Okay. Hey, any chance either of you are associated with the Order of the Gauntlet?
Yeah,
Both of us, actually.
both of us. It's
So
great.
both of you would understand that it's actually fairly common for clerics to be associated with this order, so he's not exactly trying to be like secretive about it. He was a little hesitant to ask, but he went for it since there are two of you, and you said you are you know this Limura person.
I've been a member for as long as I can remember, actually, so if that helps, if any of your information.
Oh, okay. Are all of you, or just you?
Just the two of us.
Yes, I believe it's just the two of us.
Okay. Well, may I ask, what has your business been in Red Larch? It seems like you're kind of looking for something.
Knowledge is always a valuable treasure.
Make a deception check.
Okay, I'm good at charisma. I can do this. Babow. What I get?
Hey,
Nice.
I can't tell what I got. Hey,
Got 19.
19.
Hey.
Okay. And he'll go, oh, okay, and clearly have like a little bit of a droop of disappointment. You hadn't asked him for anything else, had you?
I think I did.
You seem a little disappointed by that. Are there any rumors that you've been hearing about that seem to need someone to look into?
Well, not so much rumors, but between you and me, and he's gonna lean into like just you two now for the first time, being kind of careful about who hears what he says. He's going to say, I'm waiting for at least one from the order with information about this delegation. If you run into people looking for me, please send them this way.
You don't have any enemies, do you?
No.
Yeah, we'll do what we can.
If we find any wandering souls looking for name. So it's
Imdar?
Endar.
Endar. If we find any wandering souls looking for Endar, we will send them to the All-Faith Shrine.
Thank you very much. I would appreciate it.
Would you mind if I took a look in the other room? Is it just the space where your counterpart is at their like living quarters?
Yes, of course. Whenever the new pairs of clerics reach this place, we each take one room. Um, as far as I know, I checked earlier today. That room is still completely empty from when the last one left. You're welcome to go take a look.
So yeah, so I'm gonna poke my head in and see if there's anything really to see, if there's, any weirdness in there.
Okay, make an investigation check.
All right, investigation. That is
Okay.
a 9.
You
Um,
can do it at advantage if you want.
you can do it at advantage if you want.
Nah,
Okay.
not this time.
As far as you can tell, this room is empty. There is a sort of raised wood and straw bed frame, and one basically like a cupboard or a dresser that is clearly for clothing, and a single chair, and that's it.
Okay.
Imdar, can you tell me more about the pilgrimage that you're making? I'm just not super familiar with it.
Do you mean mine specifically, or the
Yeah.
overall idea?
Either one. Yours specifically, like what you are hoping to accomplish, and then I guess just in general, what kind of pilgrimages do clerics make to this shrine?
Well, the various clerics around our world have over the centuries taken an interest in many cases, sharing knowledge and learning more about other devotees, especially to different gods than ourselves. Not necessarily in the interest of converting, but more just in the interest of sharing knowledge, sharing faith, sharing culture, and just understanding more about each other and the places we come from and the faiths that we follow. Um, as I mentioned, this is only my second time coming to Red Larch specifically. I was really looking forward to meeting Laimura right away. She has an impeccable reputation for her knowledge and travels in the past. I, for me, this particular venture was really to absorb as much from her as I could.
Does this guy have any, does Emdar have any, symbols to show what deity he worships or what domain he represents?
Yes, he does.
Nice.
He would show you. He would pull out. I'm assuming you asked him directly.
Uh, if there isn't like if there isn't like a direct amulet like already, then yes, I'm going to ask.
Okay, so
if you're coming to learn from Glenmora, you must be of a different domain. May I inquire what that is?
oh, of course, and he'll pull out basically a chain around his neck that has an emblem on the end of it, a silver sword with a like sort of welded on top of a red shield. Make a. You don't need to make a check. He would say, "I follow the ways of Tempest."
Yes. Does Terran know who Tempest is?
Okay, now you can make a religion check.
Okay. Can we go down here? Thank you. Got 18.
18. Okay.
He sounds like a storm.
So, yeah, with an 18, you would definitely know that Tempest is a very widely known deity in the entire Faerun area. So, like that big map that I sent you guys, basically that entire area is very common. Um, you would know that there are certain like special sort of holidays. One would be the Feast of the Moon, which is a sort of celebration honoring people who have died from war, as well as oh no, that is the one. Yeah, so I think that's pretty good to put it there, unless there's anything specific you're trying to see if you know.
He's a war domain cleric also.
Yeah.
Very interesting. I have not come across a worshiper of Tempest before. Maybe after this is done, maybe we can exchange knowledge.
Oh, of course. I am always for learning more about others and sharing my knowledge and experiences as well.
I had something, but I forgot it because that's how my mind works.
Goodness. Well, I hope that your partner comes soon. If she hasn't shown up in the next couple days, please reach out to us again and we'll do what we can to help you find her.
Oh, that would be wonderful. Thank you so much. And I'm almost exclusively here all the time, so anytime, please come in. Let me know.
Fantastic. Yeah, I think I'm gonna head out.
We'll follow you out.
So I'm walking out.
Walking out to
So yeah, I think we should sort of maybe go either in the street or sort of like around somewhere to regroup and figure out where we want to go.
maybe we should split up for about maybe 10 minutes so we're not seen together constantly, and then regroup it.
No.
I think anyone who has eyes in this town would have already noticed we are party together in all of this.
I mean, we're just seen linking arms and skipping
Yeah.
from the wagon place to the shrine. So
It's true. It's true.
And we can go, grab a drink in the tavern for a bit, kind of chat about what to do.
sounds like a good plan.
I'm for it. All right, so we go back to the
Go back to
tavern.
the inn.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's like right there.
Okay.
Standing outside, they like have the door open. And like, yeah, please come in, God,
Yeah.
please.
It's lunchtime.
Yeah.
Probably.
Sandwich or something. You get a bag of Frito-Lay.
Frito-Lay, that's in Faerun.
Is
They
that,
got that branded imaging.
They got a distribution center there.
Jesus. Okay, I just
Throw
had
that
to check
in
my
there.
notes there. Okay, so you're going to the inn. Are you like heading toward the bar dining area? Are you heading up to your room? What are you thinking?
is there room service?
You could certainly ask at the bar.
I think we can just get a table.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
okay.
fine.
Yeah, let's get a
Or-
table.
Preferably in a corner so other patrons don't hear what we're talking about.
That's fair.
Okay.
We'll
being
be that group.
being midday, so the entire place is fairly busy. Being the only actual inn, and then of course with inns come the service of food and drink. So being midday, it would be fairly busy. It's a little hard to find something really secluded. There's a scattering of people pretty much everywhere, but you're able to find a corner that you figure is at least separated enough that if you at least whisper, you're pretty confident that you could converse without people overhearing you.
Sure.
Well, I'd like to order a turkey club first.
Okay. Before you guys even sit down, you would notice a familiar sight. There's a couple of bartenders tending to the large bar sort of in the middle of the area, and 2 or 3 unique human folks sort of floating in and out of what you assume is the kitchen, sort of in the back corner. And before you even sit down, one person would sort of wave to you and say, "I'll be right with you."
Did we ever learn the night bartender's name?
I didn't.
Nope.
I don't think so.
Oh no, we're
Yeah.
such jerks.
We'll get there.
You'll look at my notes just in case.
I don't think we did.
I
Is
don't-
said night bartender here right now?
Let me find out.
Is his shift?
He works 24 hours a day.
Probably up.
So,
He seemed very the guy that owns the place.
Yeah.
mhm.
Nope. You do not recognize anybody who's here.
Okay. Well,
So let's go find us that table.
yes.
I'm sure that they will see us, as we are hard to miss.
I'll go up to the bar and just kind of wait for somebody.
You're going to the bar?
Yeah.
Okay. As you get there, you'd see again human man just sort of nod to you, and as he's finishing up tapping a cup. What's the name? Brain fart. Tankard. Yes, thank you. for someone who was there just before you, she'll sort of nod back to the table behind you and say, "One for everyone, or just you?" Did I say
think
she? I meant
everybody-
he. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Yeah, one for everybody, and if you have anything on the menu for lunch, then a portion for everybody as well. That would be great.
Sure. Our specialty is. Oh my god! I just had it.
Believing you. Whatever they were chopping up at the constable's house,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna put slang on it just to cover the fact that I don't remember the freaking name and I don't want to waste time looking it up. You'll want to try the pie. It's our specialty around here.
Oh, okay. That sounds great. We're in the the big room upstairs. We're staying here. We have been for the last couple nights. If you want to put it on the room, we'll cover it later. Unless you need it now, that's okay too.
Well, if you're planning on staying long term, I could certainly take a note.
Not sure how long we'll be here. So let me just pony up here, and I'll toss some like a
Okay.
solid gold coin, maybe gold and a few silver or something.
Yeah. So the 5 ales and I'm assuming you said a meal for everyone.
Mm-hmm.
She's going to say that'll be 1 gold and 5 silver, please.
Perfect. I will give her sorry.
Him. Do I keep saying
Him.
she? I'm so sorry.
It's okay.
It's this one's a guy. The person
I'll
the
just-
person who signaled to you that they would be right with you was a woman.
Okay. I'll give him 2 gold.
Okay, start going into a coin purse in the corner and start sifting around into it.
No, you're good. It's all you. I'll just head back over to the table as they're like figuring
Oh.
it out.
Well, thank you.
Okay.
And you'll see him immediately go to, setting up the tankards and filling them up, and setting them onto like a wooden slab, and sort of scoot it to the edge of the counter in almost perfect timing with the same woman who beckoned to you a minute ago. She would sort of give him a nod, sweep it up, and bring it to you guys, and introduce herself as Kaylessa. How do you do today?
Hi, Killis. So nice to meet you. I'm Gert.
Gert, a pleasure.
I'm Worrell.
Is here. Hope you're having a good day.
Pronouncing herself.
Well, my day's going pretty great. How about you folks? She's clearly like she's doing the like one hand on the hip, sort of lean back, like clearly doing the friendly thing.
I like it.
We're having a pretty good day. We're just poking around town, trying to get our bearings a little bit.
Oh, okay. Where are you coming in from?
I came from Neverwinter before here.
Yeah, we're kind of from all over. We're
Yeah.
here to
Very spread
some
out
stuff
group.
out.
Oh, are you
Yeah.
now?
Yeah.
Fascinating. Well, we do see quite a few traveling folk here, of course. She's gonna kind of half squint a little bit and look around at you all again and say, but this has to be the most diverse crowd I've seen.
Yeah, representation matters. Yeah, we just, all found each other, and now we're buds.
Well, that's great to hear. Are you staying?
Yes, the big room upstairs.
Oh, that's you! Wonderful. How do you like the room?
Very comfortable.
Fantastic.
Very,
Yes.
very enjoyable.
That's great. I'm glad to hear that. I always value the feedback of folks that come through and stay long periods. I must have failed to mention, I actually own the place.
Oh,
Um,
Nice
fantastic.
to meet you.
If there's anything you need during your stay, please let me know. I'll see about those meals now. And she'll just quickly wisp off back into the kitchen.
Cool.
And you said that she is human, correct?
Yes.
Okay, great.
So far, everyone that you have seen working is human.
I haven't changed back to like my normal self yet. So at this point, once she walks away, I'll just kind of like change
Shimmy
back to
back.
me.
So,
we have a couple options.
yeah, where do we want to go, y'all?
I mean, it seems like to look for Lemura, it
Yeah.
might take us a little bit longer. So is there anything else we can accomplish in town before sundown?
You can check out the boarding house.
Yeah.
True.
Uh,
That's really all I can think of in town, other than scoping out the wagon shop come sundown. But
That's a ways
Got
away.
it.
We have a full day ahead of us of whatever we want to do with this. It's very odd.
We could also just take a nap.
yeah, find a beach or something. Get some little koozies on our tankards and just
Find
go hang
a-
out.
Yeah.
Wait,
Pick up a craft.
is
Yeah, why not?
if you're a changeling,
Hmm.
if you were to have human skin, would that human skin tan while you were in the sun?
Good question.
I have tried this. I did this when I was a teenager, and yeah, it does. Because I just assume human form, and it reacts like a human. Because I kind of am, sort of, not really actually. Whatever. I look like a human, kind of, but the skin it reacts is what I'm trying to say.
How does your change effect work? Can you change into me?
I mean, I have to be familiar with the person, and while not all changelings do this, I like to get the consent of the person who I gained the image from. Uh, in my current bank of people I can change into, I've got 3 people that have said, yeah, totally cool. One person I did steal it from, but they were, to kind of put it, a jerk, and I needed to trick them, so it came in handy. But yeah, it is a preferred thing to gain the consent of somebody. So don't worry, I'm not gonna just change into whirl all of a sudden and whoa, look, there's 2 of us. No, I wouldn't do that.
I mean,
Well,
I'm
that
here
would
for
be a
it
pretty-
if we ever need to do that.
That would be a
Okay.
pretty great party trick.
Yeah.
Just putting it out there.
If there's ever a reason, you have my full consent.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You said you have like a bank. There's a limited number that you can do.
No, it's just the ones that I'm more comfortable with switching to. I mean, if we stay here long enough and I get to know Kalissa long enough, then I can understand her inflections and her tone and kind of the way that she carries herself, and then I can change into her. But that takes a little bit of time to figure out their mannerisms and make a kind of a convincing facade.
But just looks, you could essentially just change your look to be like anyone.
More or less. I do still have to be relatively familiar with them. If I've seen them once, I'm not going to get a good mental image on it and be able to make a convincing show. I can try like an amalgamation of stuff, but that does not ever turn out well. Tried it once. Scared myself when I looked in a mirror. No, never again.
Well, if we ever need to scare anybody to let us through somewhere, I guess you're the person to use, right?
Really rather not, but if it comes down to that, sure, whatever. It's fine.
You know, I was thinking of more if we needed to gain access to, say, a wagon shop or some other place. These are skills that might come in handy for some infiltration missions.
Yeah, that's true. We did spend a good amount of time with Ilmith there, so if I gave myself, you know, like maybe a solid hour of just practicing walking around and you guys pointing out any certain flaws, I might be able to make it happen.
Maybe we should do that in the room upstairs, though, so people don't report to the same person.
There was a guy there, and then it was a chick, and then it was another guy. I just
Very
the
fair,
fun
very
teenage years my friends and I used to play on people. Good time.
Oh, you've done that sort of thing before.
Look, everyone's a kid. Everyone gets bored. I was one of 2 changelings in my family and the people I grew up around, and the one that taught me how to do things strictly told me to only do it with consent and to only do it in situations where you absolutely had to do it. But as a 13-year-old, that's hard to wrap your brain around, so kind of mess with some stuff, but I don't do that much anymore.
At this point, Kalissa would come back with a big slab of wood, a tray essentially, with 5 large steaming bowls, and set them all in front of you. Here's our special, the pie. And she'll sort of hurry back over to the bar and slide this tray back to the bartenders, but hurry back and sort of pull up a chair and do that, like, sit on it backwards sort of thing,
Yeah. I'm a cool high school teacher in a movie.
Yeah, and I'm gonna relate to my students by sitting the way they do.
Yeah. Gotta be
Uh,
confused. Yeah.
And she'll kind of scoot in close to those of you that are, I guess, seated closest. It doesn't really matter who, but the point is she's kind of getting close and says, "So, I hear you guys have taken care of a few problems." And sort of look at you with this clear look of interest.
Oh,
Word
we
seems
handled
to
some
travel
bandits.
fast. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just a couple bandits outside of the town.
yeah.
I mean, and the necromancer, the cave guy, you know,
Yeah.
that.
Those were causing some serious problems. You know, as far as I'm concerned, another bandit gone is another win for Red Larch. Lately, it's been just the worst.
Mm.
She's
Have
in like a
they-
clear gossip mode with you right now.
Yeah.
Mm.
So have the bandits been coming from all directions, or have you just noticed them from like one area?
Well, of course, I only hear what my patrons have to say, usually after a few good ales. So I really wouldn't know much. I think you'd probably have to go to the constable for that kind of information. Bless his heart, he's always working so hard.
Mm.
So no, I just know that they've been a problem and a lot of lost cargo.
Okay,
Makes
listen,
sense.
what's in this pie?
Oh, that's our special pie recipe. It's a mix of boar meat and locally grown vegetables in stew.
Oh, lovely. It's good to know.
Fantastic.
Sounds delicious.
As you guys are starting to like dig into it, she'll press a little bit more and say, you know, that whole cave thing, that was kind of farther out there than, you know, bandits. Common thing around the, you know, the entire Sword Coast area, let alone Faerun. But you know, I had a theory that a lot of problems around here were coming from that cave. You guys find anything interesting?
Just a weird
Nothing.
guy.
Yeah, just
That's all.
nothing strange. Just a necromancer.
Just
No,
a
a
necromancer.
handful
Just
of
a
things.
necromancer, my word!
Handful of things.
Oh god.
Beautiful.
There were some kind of grisly sights in there, but I think us coming together as a team really did some good work in there.
Well, I for one am so thankful for your help for the town. Please, I insist, for your stay, the room is on me.
Oh, that's
Thank you so
extremely
much.
kind. You really don't need to do that.
Oh, I insist. Anybody who's helping out the town in such a manner is helping out in far better ways than just one room for a few nights or weeks.
Mm.
Well, thank you. It's very kind. Well,
Very appreciate
hopefully,
that very much.
yeah. Hopefully we can, you know, stay on good equal terms with everybody and continue to help.
Well, of course. Thank you again, and she'll give you guys a wink and sort of scoot the chair back to the original spot that she got it from, and go back to, you know, swiftly wisping around all the other tables that she's been tending to.
I know we didn't talk about this earlier, but I do believe that we should not mention the magic mirror and flying spine.
Good call. Yeah.
I was trying to be as vague as I could because, you know, Constable with his eyes and ears
Mhm.
situation. And she seems lovely, but very interested in information.
Very much, very
So.
suspicious.
And even if she's not the one digging for the information, she may.
She might know somebody that is.
She seems like Chad Kathy.
She does. She does.
So,
Maybe for the rest of the day we just stay here and see if there's anyone that sticks around for a particularly long time talking.
You all are don't seem to be very concerned about Imora's disappearance. They've already been gone for what, a day?
She was with a
The day you're on right now would be the second day after she was supposed to arrive.
Okay.
She's been missing for 2 days, but Aaand was told that she was with a party of people.
Which
Maybe
makes that all the more concerning, don't you think?
Yeah.
it does, but it also would mean that they would have a better chance of protecting themselves than if it was just her.
Hmm.
And knowing
Right
her,
now. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
knowing her, I'd feel like she'd want us to do what we could to help in the situation, not waste time.
And right now, all we know is that she's coming from the south. You know. Although, Cal, if you wanted to, go, sort of walk that way, we could do some investigation.
And don't assume that I'm speaking on my behalf. Don't assume that my lack of speaking on this subject is lack of interest in wanting to help. I don't know her. I don't know what's going on other than a couple days late. It's concerning. So if we do want to make a day trip a little bit further south on the long road, then we can. I'm all revved up with high energy, so we can certainly make it happen.
As long as we make it back in time to just, make sure we get it.
Be at the wagon shop before or during sundown.
I mean, realistically, the wagon shop, us going there today is just crossing our fingers that something happens today.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. Because it's no guarantee that it happens tonight. It's
Right.
once a week is when it happens. So we don't quite know exactly when that is. We can hope it's
Right.
tonight. DM, about what time of day is it at this point?
You're a little bit past midday. Relative to real life time, I'd say in the area of like 2 o'clock.
Okay. Would we have an estimate as to how much longer we have daylight?
Yeah, you would have a good understanding that sunset is still a good 3 or 4 hours away, at
Okay.
least.
Cal, do you mind checking your watch again to see what the weather's gonna be like? And maybe just a couple hours to see if it would be even worth making the trek.
Yeah, I'll take the pocket watch out.
Mhm.
I believe it's only where is it? Character card. Oh yeah, for the next 24 hours. So it'll show us the next day or so.
So you take it out and
Mhm.
open it. Okay. So you are going to see a very familiar sight: a small orange glowing orb, and a couple of little wisps of smoke that you would understand to be a clear day, maybe some clouds here and there, and really nothing else.
Let's say give me just a moment, and I'm gonna actually walk outside and looking towards the south down the long road from where we came from that cave. Is there any indication of that storm still?
Make an investigation check. Okay.
13.
So to your south, you see clear sky at just as it is above you. But then sort of circling around and sort of generally looking around to your northeast, you would see what looks like very low clouds, thick low clouds off in the distance, far northeast.
Northeast.
Yes.
Okay. Could I tell if they were similar enough to the clouds that we had seen before?
No, they're pretty far in the distance. It's pretty hard to tell.
Okay. I'll head back inside and take a seat and say that the way to the south seems fairly clear. There's a strange storm brewing just to the northeast of town. It's a little too far to make out if it's like the storm we had earlier, but seems a little out of place for the moment.
Think it's something we should go check out today?
Northeast, that's the direction that we were told had a suspicious activity going through it, was it not?
In the hills?
A mountain, yes, the hilly area. We forgot all about that. We could go there. Well, what do you feel like we should do? Should we go try and investigate southbound, or go check out the hills?
Well, southbound, we aren't exactly sure what we're looking for. Northbound, we have at least some sort of marker, some sort of anomaly that we can trace back. Realistically, if you feel that your friend is all right for the moment, we could do some scouting to the north and see if there's anything of interest up there, see if there's anything along the way. Otherwise, yes, we have no choice but to remain in town and once again make a pass towards the Wagonmaker.
Then I suggest, I feel like if we go north, we shouldn't head too far, because if we do get caught in the mix of something, we may not make it back in time for sundown. So maybe going south is the best option.
I mean, I think if we're gonna go south, we need to like spend a whole day going south, because we don't know what we're looking for. We have no idea how far. Because if she was coming from Waterdeep, that's a couple of days to walk. Am I right?
That would be about a week of travel to get all the way there. Yeah.
So if she could potentially be anywhere along that, I don't know that us going down in an afternoon is going to solve anything. So I'm thinking either.
In character, you would also recall that the cave was south, about a mile, a little over a mile. So that would be, basically pathway that you've already traveled, and you would have understood that it, to get just there and back would take a couple hours, unless you traveled fairly quickly.
Yeah.
Why don't we do this? This seems like a decent place to take like a for real break.
Okay.
Do we want to like take 10 minutes and then you guys can kind of mull over a little bit more of what you want to do while you run to the bathroom, refill drinks, that sort of thing?
Sure.
Love that. Thank you.